Holy moly. I've been no sound. Thank you, Gabrielle. I was muted. All right, we're back. Okay, so here we go. We're back now that technical difficulties have been handled. We're back online, live, coming to you from downtown Playa Avianas in beautiful Guanacaste. What I was saying is that Rythmia is closed. Rythmia has been closed for the last 2 weeks. Normal. Gabrielle, thank you so much for saying that there was no sound. Rythmia was closed for the last 2 weeks, getting ready to prepare and to thank you, Andy. I know you heard me on Instagram, but it's the other ones. Back, we're live. We're live on all cylinders now. So I want to talk to you about faith. And what I was trying to say earlier was that I want to change people's minds about God, right? This word God has so much stuff on it. And really what we're talking about is consciousness. We're talking about what in the Aramaic, the original word milpa in Aramaic. Aramaic is the language that Yeshua ben Yusuf spoke. Aramaic is the language of the streets of the ancient Semitic lands. And Yeshua, otherwise known in the Greek translation as Jesus, but actually Yeshua means Joshua, which is very interesting. Yeshua is Joshua, and Joshua with Moses, Moses led the Israelites through the desert for 40 years. And we don't quite know why it took him 40 years to cross the Sinai, because it's not that big. But anyway, 40 years he was in the Sinai desert, and Moses couldn't enter the promised land, but Joshua could. And Jesus's name is Yeshua. Joshua, Yeshua. Anyway, Jesus, Yeshua spoke Aramaic, and the Aramaic was the language of the streets. And they spoke Hebrew in the temples. That was a sacred language. But what they spoke out on the streets, I mean, the street language was Aramaic. It was kind of like Ebonic. You know what I mean? So, and the word in Aramaic, milpa, means the mind energy of God. So in the beginning, there was milpa. Milpa. In the beginning, there was a mind energy of God. And this mind energy is what everything emerges from. Everything emerges from this mind energy. And so this is the idea that I want to change about God, that there is a mind energy. That is the nature of God, a mind energy that knows only solutions, that knows only resolution, that knows only fulfillment, that knows only infinite possibility and potential. That's the mind energy of God. In that realm, that's what we call heaven. That's what the quantum physicists would call the unified realm. And it's in this realm, that we partake of. We come from that realm. So this topic is faith. How can we have faith in a God that many people have used as a reason to go to war, as a reason to do the most horrendous things on the planet in the name of God? Humans. That's not the mind energy of God. That's not God. That's humans. And so we want to clear up this idea, right, of God being mind energy, a consciousness, if you will. And from this consciousness, all form emerges. There's a spiritual principle there that says consciousness precedes form. Consciousness precedes form. So it is from the idea that then things emerge. This works in our lives because in our lives, it is our thinking that creates our reality. It is our thoughts about reality that create our reality. We don't perceive a firm reality out there that we're perceiving. We create the reality that we see with our thinking, with our thoughts. This is the truth. And there's actually in science, in neurology, neuropsychology, there's predictive coding, that the mind actually fills in the gaps and creates the vision that you're seeing. And the best example of this is the moon. Right now we have a new moon. When the moon is, tonight's the new moon. When the moon is low on the horizon, when you see a full moon and it's low on the horizon, it looks really big, right? And then when it gets higher up in the sky, it looks smaller. Does the moon change? Does the size of the moon change when it's lower in the horizon or higher? No. Does the moon get further away or closer to Earth? No. It's the same distance. It's the same size. Then why does it look smaller or bigger? Bigger when it's lower, smaller when it's higher, because of predictive coding. The mind has something, the brain has something to compare the size of the moon to, the horizon, and so it's relatively larger. When it's in the sky, has nothing to compare it to, and it looks smaller. Our perception changes reality. So this follows the spiritual principle that consciousness precedes form, that from consciousness form is created. And so we see in the early writings of the Bible, in the beginning there was the milpa, in the beginning there was the word, in the beginning there was the mind energy of God, and the word was with God, the mind energy was God, and the word became flesh. That energy took form. From the energy became form. This is Einstein's special theory of relativity. Energy equals matter or mass. E equals mc squared. So I'm going through all of this because this is the key to faith. This is the key to faith. For me, when we realize that our perception creates our reality, and that we create, that there's not a firm reality out there happening to us, but that we are participating in the creation of that reality, that the mind energy creates the reality, that consciousness precedes form, then we can have faith when circumstances and conditions change. And this is the key. I want to tell you a story. Recently, my dog got really sick. Last Thursday, a week ago today, I was supposed to do Facebook Live, Instagram Live, and I couldn't do it because in the morning, he went out to play and he came back. He must have eaten something. And by 11 o'clock in the morning, he was paralyzed, couldn't move, couldn't walk. If he stood up, his legs kind of slid out from underneath him. I didn't know what was going on. I took him to the vet. And at the vet, they said he must have eaten something. It looked like weed. It looked like he ate marijuana. I was like, well, there ain't no marijuana at my house, because for the first time in 37 years, I can say there is no marijuana at my house. It's been a little over 4 months that I've moved beyond cannabis, which has been really amazing. No judgment about cannabis. There's nothing wrong with cannabis. There's nothing right with cannabis either. It just is what it is. And I'm choosing to move beyond it. And that's another Facebook Live. However, in this moment, the vet said he must have eaten something. We're going to feed him activated charcoal and flush his system out with IV fluids, and he should be better in 24 hours. So he was looking really bad. He was in a bad way. I was standing in faith. The faith is that there is a perfection at the center of everything, that health and healing are happening now. I stand and know, Paco's my dog's name. I stood in the knowing that there's a perfection in his body, that health and wholeness are in his body already. They're already in there, and that we're calling it forth. I knew that everything was going to be okay. I just had this faith knowing that everything was going to be okay. And even though the circumstances and conditions didn't look so good, when the circumstances and conditions don't look good, that's when we lean into faith, because we have the ability as humans to think independent of the circumstance and the condition of what we're experiencing. This is what faith is. It's our self-reflexive ability to think beyond just what the five senses are telling us. The five senses are telling us the dog looks like he's dying. The vets, and so let me tell you, here I'm standing in this faith that there's wholeness, that there's perfection, that there's healing. And I'm knowing from my course, from my daily speaking of the oath of manifestation, I'm expecting unexpected good, unexpected resolution, unexpected health, unexpected wholeness, unexpected healing, unexpected assistance, unexpected generosity, unexpected offers, unexpected ways of seeing things, unexpected ideas coming from the vets, unexpected things coming outside of my normal realm of thinking, coming outside. That's thinking outside the box, right? That's what I'm focusing on. And knowing that it's going to come in unexpected ways. It's not going to come in the ways that I'm expecting it to come. I'm holding on to that faith. Now, 24 hours goes by, and the dogs know better. The vets say, we've done everything we know how to do. He should have been better 24 hours. It might be a neurological issue. You probably need to go see a neurologist, but the only neurologist in Costa Rica is in San Jose. And let's call him. So we call him. He's out of the country. So there's no neurologist. There's nobody we can see. I'm standing in faith. I say, okay, thank you. I leave the veterinary hospital for a minute and I go into prayer. Unexpected good, unexpected resolutions, unexpected ideas, unexpected solutions, unexpected answers coming in unexpected ways from unexpected places. I'm standing in this faith. And what happens is the idea comes to ask the vet if they can find someone who might not be a board certified neurologist, but maybe who has a specialty or knows a little bit more about this that they can connect with, either in Costa Rica or in another country. They find somebody. And then they say, well, you can drive to that person. These 6 hours away. He can see you tomorrow. I don't even think I can move the dog at this point. So unexpected solutions, unexpected answers. The idea comes, can you do a video conference with this doctor? And you guys are vets. You can be the doctor's hands and eyes and ears. And can you have a video conference with them? They did. And then the doctor says, no, this isn't a neurological issue. It's definitely an intoxication. And sometimes they take 36, 48, 72 hours to heal. Okay, great. So each step of the way, we're standing in faith, independent of circumstance, independent of the condition. I'm knowing that something wonderful is happening. I'm knowing that there are unexpected good coming. There's unexpected solutions coming. This is the key to faith, for faith is the substance of things. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. That's from Hebrews 11, chapter 11, verse 1. And faith is a mental attitude. It's of seeing when the intellect is not obstructed by the circumstance. When our mind is not obstructed by the circumstance of the conditions and circumstances, when our mind is not obstructed by what the five senses are telling us, faith is believing in something beyond what the five senses tell us. So this is the process. This is the key to living a life beyond what we could imagine, a life better than we could have imagined. Faith, when we move beyond limited beliefs, when we move beyond narratives that come from our core trauma, from fear, from doubt, when we get to rely on principle. And so we step into principle, even though the five senses are telling us something's wrong. I'm stepping into the principle with faith that everything is unfolding in divine perfection. I'm stepping into the principle with faith that everything always works out. I'm stepping into the principle with faith that something wonderful is happening, even though it doesn't look like it. And we have to look at nature. We have to look at nature to prove these spiritual principles. We know in nature that a tree is evidence of something that was unseen. The tree was in a seed, and that seed had everything that was necessary for that 40-foot tree to emerge. Inside the seed, something unseen, all the genetic, everything necessary for the growth of that tree was inside that seed, and it was unseen. So we can look at nature to see that we must think independent of circumstance. We can see that there is an idea, a coded pattern in that seed, and that idea became expressed, and it moved from the formless to the formed. It moved from the invisible to the visible. All of nature provides this example. And so when we have situations and circumstances in our lives, so we lose a job, we don't know how we're going to pay our rent, we think independently of the circumstance. We go into prayer, we go into faith, we go into principle. And from that principle, we hold the vibration that something wonderful is seeking to emerge. And it is that perception that creates the reality. And what happened with my dog? 3 days later, he spent 4 days in the hospital. On the third day, he was doing better, much better. On the third day, he began to eat. He began to move around. He could move his legs again. He wasn't just laying there. And even more unexpected good came. People unrequested sent money to help pay for the hospital bill, which was amazing. And guess what? The money that people sent was almost exactly the amount of the hospital bill. And That's unexpected good, unexpected money, unexpected love, unexpected kindness, unexpected generosity, unexpected offers, unexpected prosperity, unexpected healing, unexpected solutions, unexpected answers, unexpected resolution, coming in unexpected ways from unexpected places in my life and your life and the life of others. That is the truth. So this is faith. When we can step independent of the circumstance, hold the high watch. We have to have our spiritual practice. We have to have a spiritual practice. Andy says the universe is always working for you, never against you. That's a great principle, Andy. That's exactly right. It's always working for us. So when the storm happens, when the shift hits the fan, when something goes wrong, we don't say, God, why did you do this to me? Because God isn't doing anything to us. So everything is happening for us. So we don't ask, we don't even say, God, get me out of this storm. God, fix this situation. We say, what is being asked of me? What is nature asking of me? What is life asking of me right now? What is being called forth? What is seeking to be expressed here? What is seeking to emerge? We ask powerful questions. We ask empowering questions, not disempowering questions. Why did this happen? What did I do? Is the universe working against me? What did I do to piss the universe off? Those are not empowering questions. We want to ask empowering questions. What is seeking to emerge? What good is here? Why? What? Andy says, so what was it that your dog fell ill? What was the lesson? For me, Andy, the lesson was faith. The lesson was solid spiritual practice, to keep your practice going, because I have a solid practice of meditation and prayer, of saying the oath of manifestation every day, of working with the Course of Miracles every day, of doing my Kundalini yoga, doing my breath work. All of these practices I could lean into during this time. They were already active. And so I could lean into prayer right then in that moment. I could lean into principle right there in that moment. That, for me, that was the lesson, to have faith. To have faith that no matter what the circumstances, no matter what the appearances, something good is seeking to emerge. So that is that. This is the truth, and here is the additional truth. Bill Bryson, in an amazing book called A Short History of Nearly Everything, says that there is an underlying simplicity, an equally elemental underlying unity in the way life works. There's an elegant simplicity and unity in the way life works. Every living thing is an elaboration on a single plan. It cannot be stated too often that all of life is one. All of life is one. So if there's only one life, if everything, all of life is an elaboration on a single original plan. What is that single original plan? DNA. DNA has never changed. It's always remained the same four acids move together in different ways, in different connections, in different sequences, but the same. One single underlying plan. All of life is predicated on an original plan, unity and simplicity of life. So, and then it elaborates itself in all these complex ways, but we have to remember, go back to the simplicity. There's only one thing happening: life. Life is expressing itself, and life is always for life. Always is life is always for more life, always for itself. Life never goes against itself. So something is happening for us, no matter what the circumstance, no matter what the condition. Faith, the substance of things unseen, of things hoped for, and the evidence of things unseen. All right. This is our Facebook Live, Instagram Live, YouTube Live for the day. Having faith, thinking about God differently. God is the universal mind energy, the mind energy that was there in the beginning, that is there now, the simple underlying plan, underlying perfection that's at the center of everything. That simple original plan is the mind energy of God. It's in, through, and as everything. When we can connect with that, we too can walk on water, heal the sick, raise the dead, the whole shebang. Thank you. Susan says thank you. Happy birthday, Susan. Thank you for the happy birthday wish, Susan. And thank you all so much for joining. I hope you have a beautiful day. Many blessings. Peace and richest blessings.